to be able to chant these mantras every single day, to go in a zone, get completely centered, get my mind off of wandering thoughts, negative thoughts. There's a feeling that came over me of complete peace, appreciation for life, awareness. After practicing enough with Medicine Buddha, it made me hungry for more Dharma. And
were you lazy when you were practicing? I know a lot of people get lazy in the beginning. How do you overcome?
You know what? Honestly, when I first received my empowerment, you know, I sat there. I wasn't that lazy because I really wanted to learn something new. I'm always hungry to grow. I'm always hungry to see what else is out there.
Mm-hmm.
What else is out there that...
We're trying to interview here. Can you keep her out of the shot?
The video camera is running. Get away from the video camera.
Okay, so
I was actually, when I came in as a Reiki master, I was...
All right, guys.
Okay, thank.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I'm locking the front door, okay?
See ya.
Right.
Bye. I can't, you know what, actually no, I don't think I was that lazy at the time. It was difficult in the beginning because you're having to learn a very long mantra, speak another language, Sanskrit. That's not easy to learn.
Right.
I have to say it probably took me about a good few days to actually really get it down, because once you chant the mantra over 1,000+ times, eventually it just becomes second nature, and you can just chant it in your mind,
right.
Chant it when you're, you know, angry, chant it when you're depressed, chant it when you feel this heaviness that comes over you, because once you chant these mantras, it gets your mind off of wandering thoughts, off of thinking negatively. And obviously, as we all know, that the more negative you think, then that energy bounces back to you, and then you start attracting negative experiences. But for me, what I've learned is that when you chant the mantra, you feel this sense of peace, complete calmness, and you become a very positive, happy, energetic individual. And for me, how Hanmi has changed me, it changed me on so many levels. I mean, to be able to look back and look at the person that I was 2 years ago, to the person that I am now. And mind you, I started this journey probably about 5 years ago. You know, first I started out with collecting crystals, to reading on spirituality books, to getting guided to Reiki, to now Chinese Hanmi, which is just out of this world. I mean, these are esoteric teachings. To be able to sit there, chant these mantras, change wine, and take the alcohol out of wine. I mean, come on.
Right.
Where have you heard of doing something like that, other than in the Bible? To have these teachings, to be a part of something so ancient, to learn these types of teachings that have been around for thousands and thousands of years, it's a blessing.
Right.
It truly is. It's a feeling of just knowing that you're a part of something, a unity, where you've got, you know, hundreds of people that are disciples throughout the world, and now it's getting spread throughout America. And then for me to be able to take discipleship with Master You, and I've received so many empowerments from Master You, and how it's changed my life on a level is so deep. And so emotional for me at times, because I'm just not the same person I was years ago. And to be able to get out there and transmit the Dharma to others, to teach them what I know. And, you know, I'm a work in progress. I'm always going to be a work in progress until I leave this planet. And then to be able to get out there and teach other people, you know, to sit down, chant your mantras, when you're having this feeling overcome you. See, I've got a lot of work to do.
And your daughter? So what about your daughter? I know she comes, and has it helped you help?
You know, there is this mantra, Yellow Manjushri mantra. Master Yu said, chant this mantra when your children are misbehaving. So when I pick up my daughter from school, and obviously, you know, children are extremely hyper, they pick up a lot of energy from school, you know, and they tend to talk back and get sarcastic with you. And then I'll just sit there and be quiet. You know, I don't feed into her little gestures or or comments or, being obnoxious. I just sit there and I just chant the mantra. Om Wa Goya Sore Moon, over and over and over. Next thing, she's sitting in the back. She goes through, I notice this is every time I pick her up, she goes through these emotional releases. She'll start crying because of the day that she had at school, or she'll start complaining about somebody at school. And then eventually, next thing you know, that whole energy has shifted. And it's like, I love you, Mom. And she's just being extremely friendly. She's going back to being Jordan.
Right.
And also same with my husband. When my husband is sick, he's on dialysis. He's been on dialysis now for 4 years waiting a kidney transplant. When I worked on him, the first time I worked on him, I was only a Reiki master. Now mind you, the first time I put my hands on his chest and he lay down and I was working on him, sending him some energy, he just burst into tears for about an hour, non-stop, just emotional releases. I mean, looking at him, he's a big man. This is a guy who's very tough, doesn't show emotion, period. But for him to do that, it was, I felt good because I felt like I was opening him up to release all these wounds that he's had, suppressed in his heart for so many years. That was just the opening. As I got into Hanmi, he obviously still being sick, constantly working on him.
So is he feeling better?
He's
is he
feeling
getting
much better. He's improved tremendously. I brought him in to receive healings from Master Yu. And once he received a healing from Master Yu and also one of the disciples who worked on it, they were able to open him up and have him release even more suppressed energy. Once they opened him up, I was able to give him an abhiseka, an empowerment, a blessing, to chant the mantras. And now he has been empowered for probably about 2 months. And he's been practicing the mantras. Men, I've noticed some men, not all men, but some men, are very hard nuts to crack. Because they, just so stubborn and hard-headed. They can't tend to just let loose, soften up, and kind of open up to other avenues. Especially when you're, like my husband, who's been a wrestler for so many years, a fighter. So they have that warrior-like attitude where nobody passes their little box that they have, and he's very protective of us. So for him to sit there and chant the mantra at nighttime to purify that karma. Because when you chant the mantra, you're purifying the mind, you're purifying the body, you're purifying the soul. You're purifying your life in this lifetime, you're purifying your life in your previous past 5 lifetimes. So when you connect to those lifetimes, those emotions, those feelings come to the surface. And when you realize and when you're aware of those feelings that are coming to the surface, that's when you chant your mantras. You release that energy so that you don't have to relive that life again, and you're able to conquer the cycle of life. And so from that moment on, you're able to move forward and bring forth good luck, extinguish yourself from disaster, and live the life that you're meant to live, and prosper, and live there and live happy.
Right. Do you think Hanmi will help? How do you think Hanmi, if people know about it and are more exposed to it worldwide, how will it help them, from celebrities to, the working class people to the businessman? Do you feel, in your opinion, it will help the rest of humanity in general?
Oh, absolutely. Once people become aware of Hanmi, we live in a very high stress society. This world is just filled with, everybody's constantly go, 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 worried about, the next thing they need to do or the next event they need to attend, or, worried about getting home to their children, or worried about money. When you take a moment to yourself, and a lot of us have forgotten ourselves. There's a time to be selfish, but there's a time to be selfish in a way that you can nurture yourself. Give yourself the love that you give to others. And when you give yourself that love, and you sit down and take that moment and just chant, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, let your body just go and release.